It's the third and final game of a three-game weekend series here in Cedar Falls as the UNI Panthers, looking for a 13th consecutive win, take on the Valparaiso Beacons here at the Robinson Dresser Sports Complex in Cedar Falls. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm David Warrington alongside Brian Irby. And Brian, two-game sweep for UNI yesterday, trying to make it 3 in a row and 13 in a row, dating back to earlier season play.
They've been really playing well, timely hitting and good defense, but the exceptional pitching, outstanding pitching by Heyer and Caitlin Packard.
Let's take a look at the batting order for the visitors here today. The Beacons of Valparaiso coming in at 4-19 in the MVC. Hirschbach will lead off, followed by Reggie Hecker. Kimberly Rodas bats third. Emily Crompton cleaning up and playing left field. Second baseman Alexis Johnson is fifth. The DP Lauren Kellenbrink is sixth. Autumn Acord is at first batting seventh. Lexi Sostak in right batting eighth. And the catcher Lina Vasquez bats ninth to round out that batting order for the Valparaiso Beacons. Now here is the defensive lineup that'll be out there in the field to begin the ball game for UNI. In the outfield, left to right, Maya Dodge in left, Madison Parks is in center, Sammy Moss out there playing right field. Brooke Snyder plays third, Kylie Sanders at short, Taylor Hogan is at second, Darren Lamprecht playing first base. The outstanding freshman Alexis Papillo behind the plate doing the catching, and she is doing the catching for the starting pitcher, Samantha Heyer. And Brian, as you mentioned, Heyer just outstanding this season, 20 wins to 4 losses and a 1.81 ERA.
She really, the improvements she made from a year ago is just outstanding. I'm just very impressed with her. And, you know, the Panthers, both their pitchers, both of the starters, Packard and Heyer, just have done a tremendous job.
First pitch is in the dirt and low for a ball as we're underway at 12:02 p.m. on this Saturday afternoon. Game 3 of a 3-game set here in Cedar Falls this weekend. UNI won both yesterday, 7-2 and 3-0 the finals there. Second pitch from Heyer. It's going to be in there for a called strike. We're evened up at 1-1. Leadoff hitter for the Beacons is Taylor Hirschbach, the shortstop. Fifth-year senior out of Lockport, Illinois.
I think, David, one of the some of the important things that both pitchers do is they get ahead in the count. Now I have jinxed her already. She's behind 2-1, but for the most part, yesterday and previous games I've been at and seen, they've just done a tremendous job working ahead, making hitters hit their what they call junk pitches. So.
That one fouled off, 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. On the year, Heyer 231 strikeouts, just 36 walks, nearly 200 more strikeouts than walks, and that is a recipe for success, no doubt about it. Heyer with the 2-2 pitch upcoming. Puts it in there, just misses for a ball. 3 balls, 2 strikes. First batter of the game, Taylor Hirschbach, draws a full count.
It'll be interesting to see how disciplined Valparaiso is at the plate today. They were a little bit, well, here we go. But
called third strike.
I thought they were a little too active in the box early on against Heyer yesterday, and they weren't as patient as they probably should have been. And it paid off for them in the long run. They scored a couple runs and got Heyer I think she walked 3 batters in the 3rd inning, which is uncharacteristic.
So Hirschbach draws the full count, but Heyer does get the strikeout looking, her first of the day. That brings up the center fielder, Reggie Hecker, a 272 hitter on the year. Hecker, a junior out of Lee's Summit, Missouri, falling behind 0-1 after fouling off the first pitch of the at-bat. Second one's in there for a called strike, quickly falls behind 0-2. And against Heyer in particular, that's a dangerous place to be. Heyer with the 0-2 delivery. That one is just a bit high, a ball and 2 strikes.
Good spot for Heyer right there. Those are set-up pitches, I believe.
Certainly on an 0-2 count, don't want to just lay one right down the middle of the zone. Here's the 1-2. That one just misses. Good spot on that one, but it is 2-2. Hecker has fought back to even up the count.
Hecker had a couple hits yesterday. I think one or maybe off of Higher and one or two off of Packard.
Puts that one in play, but it's foul ball. Hit off of her shin or lower leg, it looked like, so it is a foul ball. Hecker, one of the better batting averages on this team, 272, just 1 point behind Hirschbach, who just went down on strikes. So certainly one of the more capable hitters. Does a fine job up at the plate for the Beacons. Count remains at 2-2 here. Here's the pitch from Higher. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. 2 up, 2 down via the punch out. As Higher getting the kind of start she would hope for. The first 2 batters from the Beacons go down on strikes.
It appears she has picked up right where she left off yesterday. Fans that watched the first game yesterday, Samantha Higher had 17 strikeouts against Valpo.
First pitch of this at-bat. And a swing and a miss for a strike. This is Kimberly Rodas at the plate for the Beacons. The third baseman hitting 257 on the year. 9 driven in. Does have 1 home run on the season. Rodas, a freshman out of San Bernardino, California. I'm going to go out on the limb and say the weather might be a little nicer there than it is here today.
That's quite a trip from California to Indiana.
No balls and 2 strikes. Here's a look at the weather we have here today. Not terrible compared to what we could have, but it's a bit windy. 55 degrees. It's quite a bit nicer yesterday and earlier in the week. We got a ball and 2 strikes here.
Yesterday was beautiful. You couldn't have dialed it up any better.
Well, the good news is we should be getting to a little bit warmer temperatures once we get out of the weekend as well. As here comes the 1-2. That is in there, called strike 3. 3 up, 3 down, all via the strikeout. And UNI looks to get the bats going coming up in the bottom of the first. You're watching The Valley on ESPN.
Jake from State Farm. I really want that personal price plan, so I'll admit it. I'm a bath bomb guy.
Dude, you do not need to get that personal. The State Farm Personal Price Plan simply helps you create an affordable price just for you.
For real?
Who's ready for their jazz bath? No?
Who is that guy?
Jazz bath? Call or click to get a quote today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I'm here to better myself. I want to face challenges head on. To be taught by experts. To become an expert. My generation will bring solutions to tomorrow's problems. And UNI has made me ready for that future.
Cody!
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm crocheting.
I see that.
It started off as a hobby, kind of snowballed from there. And Alex, I don't want to stop.
Well, I don't see why you should have to. Let's set you up with a side gig savings goal on the US Bank mobile app. This way you can turn it into your main hustle before you know it.
You're my hero, Alex.
What are you working on now?
Pool cover.
That's fun.
Oh, I made my wife a bathing suit.
Oh, did Linda like it?
She did not.
Oh.
You should see what I made for Max. Max, look at him. He loves it.
The confidence to make your dream a reality. US Bank. We'll get there together.
Here's a look at the batting order for UNI. Kylie Sanders leads off. Alexis Papillo bats second. Madison Parks is third. Maya Dodge cleans it up. Addison McElrath is in the 5 spot. Taylor Hogan 6th. And Snyder, Moss, and Darren Lamprecht round out that batting order for UNI as the shortstop Kylie Sanders digs in for her first plate appearance of the game. Sanders, a .299 hitter on the year, 6 homers, 20 RBIs. Sanders, just a sophomore, got the starting position at shortstop last year as a freshman. A ball and no strikes on Sanders. Looks at that one, it's in there for a called strike. Sanders, such a great leadoff hitter because not only does she have a good batting average, but also can take pitches and draw walks, and once she gets on base, has outstanding speed. 1-1 pitch. That one is in there for a called strike as well. Ball and 2 strikes. Caitlin Kowalski in the circle for Valparaiso.
That's exactly what Kowalski did yesterday. Kept the Panther batters off balance, mixed in the changeup along with some drop balls. Kept the ball on the dirt and really pitched a pretty good ball game.
1-2 misses high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Record certainly isn't where Kowalski would want it. 2 wins, 17 losses. But ERA isn't terrible. 4.82 would certainly like to be a bit lower if you're Kowalski. But certainly has some good stuff. Has had some good performances this year, including yesterday. Only gave up the 3 runs to this potent UNI offense. That one's driven out to center field, but directly at the center fielder. Reggie Hecker makes the grab, and a loud out number 1 from Kylie Sanders. As we will, here in a moment, take a look at that starting defensive lineup for the Panthers. See that one driven right at Hecker. Here is that group for the Beacons. Crompton, Hecker, and Sosak in the outfield left to right. Rodas, Hirschbach, Johnson, and Acord are the infielders from your left to your right. Vasquez behind the plate doing the catching, and as we mentioned, Kowalski in the circle getting the start for Valparaiso. First pitch to Papillo is struck up the middle. That'll be a base hit. Didn't even get a chance to mention the outstanding freshman Alexis Papillo before she went ahead and got a base hit. And there is the first hit of the game for UNI. So Papillo is aboard at first base with the base hit, and that will bring up the center fielder Madison Parks. .331 hitter on the year, 4 homers and 21 RBIs. That one's put in play, and it's a fair ball. Papillo being waved over by Coach Jacobs. They're going to send her, and she's going to be in there without a throw. Parks trying to stretch it to a triple, and she will. Madison Parks slides in with a triple. Almost didn't even need a slide. Certainly want to just to be safe, but had the speed necessary to make that a stand-up play, and it's an RBI. UNI leads 1-0. Big-time play for Madison Parks to get UNI on the board emphatically.
She got a little bit of that, or she got it on the inside corner. It was just a little bit on the inside corner and pulled it right down the first base line.
So UNI strikes first. They lead 1-0 here in Cedar Falls, as that brings up Maya Dodge, the outstanding sophomore. Fouls the first pitch off. One of the top freshmen in the entire country a season ago, the former Cedar Rapids Kennedy product.
Had a great career at Kennedy, played on a state championship team, and has just extended that here at UNI.
A 1 pitch is also fouled off. Falls behind 0-2 back on Tuesday in the win against Drake. Dodge had quite the way to end the game. Hit a grand slam with the bases loaded to invoke the run rule and walk that one off. On the season, 14 home runs, just 1 behind Papillo for the team lead, and has the team lead in RBIs with 61 driven in. Puts that one in play sharply to short on a 1-hop over in time. Good recovery there by Hirschbach. Could have had an opportunity to catch it, didn't quite get it cleanly, but stayed focused, made the play, and Parks is held there at third. So 2 down, runner on third as Addison McElrath will step up. McElrath, the designated player this afternoon, a .444 hitter, 4 homers and 20 RBIs. Looks at the first pitch. It is in there for a called strike. Falls behind 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That one's looked at, and it misses for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. McElrath, a sophomore out of Mobile, Iowa, Woodbury Central product.
Very good program at Woodbury Central.
1-1 pitch is popped high into the air, well out of play over towards the parking lot. A ball and 2 strikes now. Panthers already leading 1-0 off the RBI triple from Madison Parks. Parks now stands at third base, waiting to see if McElrath can drive her in. Kowalski with the 1-2. Checked her swing, does so wisely as it misses for a ball. 2 balls and 2 strikes now.
Very good discipline there for McElrath. Tough pitch to lay off of.
Here's the 2-2. That one's in the dirt. Count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Certainly for the Panthers here, you'll take it either way. A ball 4 to continue the inning or the big hit to drive in the run. Either one would work. Taylor Hogan on deck for UNI. Here's the 3-2. That one's put in play. Takes a funny hop over the second baseman's head, and that drives in a run. Madison Parks comes in to score. RBI there off the bat of McElrath. And UNI leads it 2-0 here in the bottom of the first inning.
I'm certainly not official, David, but I got to give her a base hit on that one, I think.
I would agree. Waiting to see the official ruling, but looked like just a bit of a funny hop. Not a whole lot the second baseman Alexis Johnson could have done about that one. And she did play a very fine defensive game yesterday, making some good plays over there at second base. Do have a pinch runner in here for UNI. Maggie Erpelding, the junior out of Bettendorf, Iowa, is going to pinch run over there at first base. Erpelding has outstanding speed on the base path. Certainly got to watch out if you're the Beacons at the moment, as Taylor Hogan digs in. Hogan puts the first pitch in play. Good backhand over a short, but no chance you're going to get Hogan. That was going to be a tough play no matter who was running down the baseline, but Taylor Hogan had too much speed to make that even a play where Hirschbach wanted to make a throw, and the inning continues. Base hit for Taylor Hogan. One thing about UNI this first inning, they are aggressive. They've been swinging at the first pitch on several occasions, and it has worked out.
Well, I think they learned a little bit from the second game on yesterday. Kowalski really pitched well in that game, and kept the Panthers with 3 runs, and they're very explosive offensively.
Do you want to give an update? That was officially ruled a base hit by McElrath. The RBI, the funny hop at second base, was not ruled an error, and I think they got that one right as Erpelding is running down the baseline. Gets in there at third base, and behind her, Hogan will advance the base. So on a pitch in the dirt, everybody moves up 1 base, and there's now 2 in scoring position here with 2 down.
Good spot for the senior Snyder.
Brooke Snyder, the batter, 322 hitter, 10 homers, 33 driven in. Transfer from Indian Hills Community College. Looks at that one, just misses. 3-0 count. Have Sammy Moss on deck. Kowalski getting set. Here's the 3-0. Takes that one, it misses, and walked on 4 pitches. Snyder makes her way down to first base, and they are now loaded as Sammy Moss steps up to the plate. We are going to have a timeout for a meeting in the circle. It's Kowalski off to a bit of a rough start this afternoon. And while we've got a break, let's go ahead and take a look at the updated conference standings here in the Missouri Valley Conference. So UNI there at the top, 22 wins, just the 1 loss. And they're getting very close to clinching the regular season title. If Missouri State, depending on how their games go the rest of this weekend, could potentially clinch it this weekend. Otherwise, certainly have the opportunity next weekend when they host Evansville for 3 games. You see there Valparaiso down at the bottom at 4-19, but Missouri State, Murray State, and Illinois State, as well as Indiana State, some of the other teams that are really playing some good softball this year. Indiana State, in fact, the one team in conference play that has been able to knock off UNI. They're 22-1, and that one was Indiana State in their 3 games in Terre Haute. So Sammy Moss digs in. called. First strike, the former Mustang at Mount Vernon High School.
Moss hit the ball well yesterday. Also played a great defense in right field. But she hit the ball hard 3 or 4 times. I thought, you know, it's just one of those things, they call them atom balls, and she hit it right at them, but she hit the ball hard.
Looks at that pitch. Moss certainly has been playing some good softball as of late. Had a couple of base hits with an RBI in the win against Drake on Tuesday. Got a ball and a strike here. That one's popped high into the air. Looks like it could be playable depending on how far back it goes, and it is caught. Good catch back there behind the plate by Vasquez, and that will end the inning. So UNI leaves them loaded, but they do bring across 2 runs, and they lead 2-0 after an inning of play. You're watching The Valley on ESPN.
Oh, that's the new DQ Backyard Bacon Ranch Signature Stack Burger with house-made Hidden Valley Ranch. You're taking this backyard thing really seriously. Oh, I get it. It's a tasty-looking burger. DQ, happy tastes good.
Hey, I'm a Palm Springs hotel. I got the desert air, sun-kissed pools, and shady hideaways. I'm looking for someone who can decide on a Friday night that a one-night commitment is a fine idea. What do you say? Meet me at Hotels.com.
UNI leading Valparaiso 2-0 after an inning of play here in Cedar Falls. Beacons went down 1-2-3 in the first. Have 4, 5, and 6 due up here as Emily Crompton digs in, the left fielder hitting 156 this season. Crompton, a junior out of Salem, Illinois. Heyer just looked completely dominant in that first inning. Got 3 strikeouts, 2 of them looking. Has a 1-1 count here.
It's just right where she left off yesterday. She struggled just a little bit in 1 inning, which when I said earlier she walked 3, but she was always right there around the strike zone and just had good command of all her pitches.
Ball and 2 strikes here on Crompton. Playing left field today for the Beacons. Swing and a miss, strike 3, 4 up, 4 strikeouts. Packer just having her way with the Beacons so far. As Alexis Johnson, the second baseman, will be the next Beacon to give it a go. Johnson, a .211 hitter this season, has driven in 8 no home runs yet. Just 4 home runs as a team from this Beacons team. As the first pitch by Johnson is fouled off. Johnson, a junior out of Schererville, Indiana. Prepped at Lake Central High School.
Have to give a lot of credit to the pitching staff at UNI, Heyer and Parks, but Packard, excuse me. But I think a lot of the credit goes to Monica Wright, the new pitching coach, or the pitching coach at UNI. She's just done a tremendous job. The off-season gains that these 2 pitchers have made and the whole staff has just been tremendous.
That's a great point. Good college programs bring in good players, but the great ones take those good players and make them even better, and that's what UNI seems to do year in and year out. Heyer and Packard both came in as really good players, but there's been noticeable improvement year to year, and that's a big deal when you're already really good and you just get better and better.
And it's a testament to Coach Jacobs and Coach Wright and then the athletes themselves.
Good little battle here going on. Alexis Johnson fouling off a couple of pitches, has a ball and 2 strikes on her. Heyer tries to make it 5 straight strikeouts to start the game. And I've got a little highlighter here with me. I put on my book every time there's a strikeout. If I'm not careful, I'm going to run out of ink. Comes the 1-2. That one's put in play. Hogan fields at second base. Throw over is in time. Great hustle down the line by Johnson, but does beat her by about a step or 2. And UNI has 2 down once again. Lauren Kellenbrink will dig in. The designated player hitting .222, leads the team with 2 home runs, has also driven in 10. Bats with the bases empty and 2 down. First pitch in there for a called strike. Falls behind 0-1.
At one point yesterday, I made a comparison between Heyer and the former pitching great Eddie Feiner. She had 16 strikeouts, and the other 2 outs were fly balls to left field.
Very impressive outing from Heyer. That one's put in play right back to Heyer, makes the grab, can field a little bit too. And that will retire the side. 6 up, 6 down, and UNI leads 2-0. Heading to the bottom of the second. You're watching the Valley on ESPN. 9-1-2 due up for UNI here in the bottom of the second. They lead Valparaiso 2-0 here in Cedar Falls. Game 3 of a 3-game weekend set. Panthers trying to go for the sweep and win their 13th in a row. Lamprecht swinging to the first pitch she sees. Great range from Johnson. Moving to her left quite some ways, makes the play. Now, Brian, you mentioned to me she had quite the game over at second base yesterday. Well, there you go. Great example of her strong defensive abilities.
Very quick, got a good jump on that one, and just made a great play. Yesterday she made a couple plays going up the middle, backhanded a ball, and jumped up and got the runner at first base on a ground ball. Just a very well played defensive job from Johnson.
So 1 pitch, 1 out. Back to the top of the order we go with Kylie Sanders. She watches the first pitch in there for a called strike. Sanders hit one quite well in her first at-bat, but was right at Reggie Hecker out in center field. So lined out to center to open up UNI's batting of the day. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That one's looked at, misses for a ball. Got a ball and a strike here on Sanders, the outstanding sophomore shortstop. Came in last year having to fill the big shoes of Sammy Bunch. When you come into a position like that, nobody's going to replace a player like that, but you want to come in and play solid defense, contribute on offense, and she's done that and then some, as that one's fouled out of play. Alexis Papillo on deck for UNI. Parks would be due up next if we get there here in the bottom of the second. One ball, 2 strikes to count. Caitlin Kowalski with the pitch. That one misses outside. Looked like it was a bit low as well. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Sanders had kind of a tough outing against Kowalski yesterday. Hit the ball hard 3 different times, but didn't reach base. But had 2 hits in the first game yesterday.
Kowalski getting set for the 2-2. Here's the pitch. That one struck well. Out to center field. It's deep, and it's caught right in front of the track. Outstanding defensive play by Hecker. Had to move a long ways to go make that play. Makes the catch. And there are 2 outs on 2 non-routine defensive plays.
Hecker got a great jump on that. But again, here's Sanders hitting the ball right on the nose. That's 2 at-bats in the first 2 innings, and she's hit the ball hard to center field both times.
Certainly frustrating to know you could have and maybe even should have had a hit when you hit a ball like that, but also have to figure at least you're on it, and maybe next at-bat you'll hit it to a better spot. Papillo drives that one. Nobody's going to catch that. Into the wall. Hit very, very hard as Papillo slides in standing up. What a well-struck ball there by Papillo. First pitch swinging both of her at-bats. She's got a single and a double already here in the second inning. We were talking before the game got underway. Just a freshman, but she really doesn't look like a freshman when she's out there swinging the bat or behind the plate.
She's just done a great job with the pitching staff and handles herself very well behind the plate. And the way she's hitting the ball, everything is just solid. Everything is just jumps off of her bat. She's got good speed, runs well. Excellent ball player for the Panthers.
Called strike in there on Madison Park. She had an RBI triple and later scored in the first inning. Trying to drive in Papillo here with 2 outs in the second. That one's put in play, but gets out of play in a hurry for a foul ball. This falls behind 0-2. Kowalski's got to feel fortunate to just have given up the 2 runs so far. She had a lot of balls hit very hard. With some good defense behind her and just the 2 runs allowed. That one's put in play right at the third baseman. Kimberly Rodas makes the play. So 3 hard-struck balls that result in outs. And just the 1 hit in the inning for UNI. They lead 2-0 after 2. You're watching The Valley on ESPN.
Oh, that's the new DQ Backyard Bacon Ranch Signature Stack Burger with house-made Hidden Valley Ranch. You're taking this backyard thing really seriously. Oh, I get it. It's a tasty-looking burger. DQ, happy tastes good.
I'm a New York hotel. I'm looking for someone who needs a weekend in the city. You hungry? I know a place. It's the city that never sleeps. But hey, if you need a last-minute spot, I've got you covered. Let's link up at Hotels.com.
UNI leading 2-0 here after 2 innings. Panthers 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors. Valpo no runs, no hits, no errors on your line. As 7-8-9 due up for the Beacons. Autumn Acord, the first baseman, will dig in first. Swing and a miss on the first one. Acord hitting .097 this season, does have an RBI. The junior is out of LaGrange, Ohio, a transfer from Kent State. Higher with the 0-1. Looks like that one was just fouled off. Acord falls behind 0-2.
That's what makes the Panther pitching so tough. They are very disciplined as far as getting ahead in the count.
That one just misses for a ball. Once you get to that point where you're down 0-2 in any at-bat, particularly against a really exceptional pitcher, you're in big trouble.
You are in big trouble. You have to, if you can, foul stuff off until you get a pitch to hit. But
certainly easier said than done, as we see the foul off there. Sometimes turn into a fun chess match. Batter and pitcher trying to figure out what's going to be thrown next. How can I foul off this? And just trying to wait for that one particular pitch you're looking for. But
well, as a hitter, when you're down like that in the count, you always hope that a pitcher will make a mistake. But I don't think Samantha Heyer is going to do that this year, the way she's been pitching.
1-2 pitch is looked at. That just misses for a ball. Outstanding ERA for Heyer, 1.81. 20 wins, just the 4 losses. 236 strikeouts, or 235, I should say, as that one's a foul ball back towards the bullpen.
With Packard and Heyer, you just get the feeling that they can put the ball anywhere they would like to. They just have that much of a command of the spot pitches that they can produce during the game. Just a tremendous job.
2-2 is looked at, in there for a called strike. Half a dozen strikeouts already here in the top of the third for Samantha Heyer. And 3 of those have been looking. When you can get a batter to go down looking, that's a big testament to your abilities. That pitch popped up into the air. Snyder camped underneath of it. Wind played some tricks with it a little bit, but Snyder stuck with it. And we have 2 down. So Stack goes down in the first pitch, and Vasquez will be up next. Bottom of the batting order for the Beacons. Lena Vasquez digs in, looks at the first pitch. That just misses for a ball. Vasquez, a freshman out of Moreno Valley, California. Product of Valley View High School. One of 2 Californians in the starting lineup for the Beacons. Quickly works ahead 2-0. Vasquez hitting .111 on the season. No homers and none driven in. Is looked at. Heyer finds herself behind 3 balls, no strikes.
not necessarily a spot where Hire likes to be at. It doesn't happen very often.
That is absolutely true. 4-pitch walk to Vasquez as she gets on. And a rare walk from Hire, just her 37th of the season compared to 236 strikeouts. So first base runner of the game for Vasquez for the Beacons, and back to the top of the order as Hirschbach will dig in. Went down looking to lead off the ball game in the top of the first. Pulls back her swing, but it's a called strike anyways. Falls behind 0-1.
I don't feel like I'm sure that Hire and pitching coach Monica Wright aren't very happy of walking the number 9 hitter on 4 straight pitches.
I would agree. Certainly not what Hire was hoping for of that at bat. There's a ball and a strike here. Hirschbach, a 273 hitter on the season. That one's put in play, but it will get foul down that third base line. Now a ball and 2 strikes.
The other thing, David, is that not necessarily second-guessing Monica Wright, the pitching coach, calling pitches, but I think they're also prepping for down the road what's going to happen next weekend, hopefully in the conference tournament. Maybe there's some things they see that they would, or pitches they would like to throw, in the future. And so they may be experimenting a little bit with the luxury of having a 2-run lead.
Just 4 regular season games remaining for the Panthers after this one. They'll go to Iowa City, take on the Hawkeyes on Wednesday. And then Evansville comes to town next weekend to conclude the season. That one popped into the air, out of play. Count stays at 2-2. Then the Missouri Valley Conference Tournament begins May 10th and then ends Saturday the 13th. That is in Carbondale, Illinois this year, hosted by Southern Illinois. Panthers came up a game short last year, falling to Missouri State in the conference championship. It appears that will be called a check swing, and they appeal down, and now the call of strike 3 comes in. So a bit of an awkward play there, but it will retire the side as UNI leads 2-0. Here's another look at that play briefly. Ruled that she broke the plane, so that'll do it. You're watching the Valley on ESPN. Back here in Cedar Falls as Maya Dodge will bat for UNI. Panthers leading 2-0 over the Valparaiso Beacons. Here as we begin the bottom of the third. Dodge, the left fielder, stepping in for the second time today. Watches the first pitch miss for a ball. Dodge hit one hard to shortstop, but was a ground out victim 6-3 in her first at-bat back in the first inning. It's been the story for a lot of Panthers today, hitting the ball hard, but not having anything to show for it.
It's got to be a good feeling, though, and a confidence builder when you're hitting the ball square. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't happen for you, but when you're hitting the ball in the nose and driving it hard like they have been, they're going to start to fall.
And the good news is they do have the 2 runs and the 5 hits, so it's not as if they've left or been completely held blank. They've still got some good offense going, but certainly could have been even better at this point with the way they've been hitting some of the balls.
And Eric and I talked a little bit about yesterday. Good teaching points for Coach Jacobs getting ready for the postseason, the conference tournament. Scoring with runners in, scoring with runners in scoring position, timely hitting.
Big swing there from Dodge, comes up empty. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here with nobody out in the bottom of the third.
With less than 2 outs, runners in scoring position, it doesn't always have to be a double to the gap. Ground ball can score somebody from third if you hit it to the right side.
That one struck a long way. That'll score a run. Maya Dodge, a blast to center field And for the 15th time this season, Maya Dodge leaves the park. A home run that ties her for the team lead, and UNI leads 3-0 on the home run from Maya Dodge.
Right on cue when I was talking about hitting ground balls, Maya Dodge hits one about 250 feet.
We'll see, you can hit ground balls, Coach Irby, but hitting a home run like that's a little bit more fun.
Exactly. And she tied her teammate for the team lead.
Papillo and Dodge having a very fun race for the home run lead. Dodge had that race with Emmy Wells last year for a while before Wells just really pulled away, had just an exceptional season last year. Of course, Wells unfortunately out with an injury this season, but heard a good update from Coach Jacobs that she's doing quite a bit better and should be good to go by the fall season coming up. But fortunately for the Panthers, they have had the outstanding freshman Papillo step up to that spot and played exceptional softball in her own right.
What a luxury for Coach Jacobs is to have Dodge last year as freshman of the year, and certainly Papillo has to be in the running for that this year. Back to back never hurts.
Addison McElrath batting for the Panthers, 1-1 count. McElrath, the designated player this afternoon. Looks at that one inside for a ball. 2 balls and a strike to count. McElrath did have a base hit in her first at-bat. Looking to repeat that here in the third. Watches that one, it misses as well. Now works ahead 3-1.
I think Kowalski wanted that one.
I would agree. When you're facing an offense as good as UNI's, you want every pitch that you can get. Here's the 3-1. Looks like that might have hit her as she sprints down the first base line. It will be a ball. It would have been ball 4 anyways, but looks like it caught her there as she reaches on the hit by pitch. So nobody out for UNI. Runner now on first base. McElrath over there as Taylor Hogan digs in. Second baseman at a single in the first inning. Hogan, of course, a local product here in the area from Waterloo. Went to Columbus Catholic High School over in Waterloo. And is a dual sport athlete here at UNI, also on the swimming and diving team where she is a standout diver. A ball and no strikes here on Hogan, as Vasquez will quickly run out to home plate, or to the circle, I should say. As here is a look at UNI's head coach Ryan Jacobs, year 16 for Coach Jacobs. And what a job he has done with this UNI program. Over 400 wins in his career. Of course, the regular season champions a season ago. And has just really turned this Panther team into perennially one of the top in the Valley every year. So ball and no strikes here as this at-bat will continue after the brief conversation. Hogan looks at that one, it misses. 2 balls and no strikes on the second baseman.
Just to follow up on the information on Coach Jacobs, he does such a tremendous job of making himself available to help high school coaches and recruiting high school players in Iowa.
That one is in there for a called strike. 2 balls and a strike now on Hogan. Hogan also kind of dipped her feet into the coaching world a little bit. Was an assistant on the Columbus team that she used to play for this past summer. Has a little sister that is starter on that team. That was popped high out of play.
That always gives kids a different perspective when they are outside the lines coaching instead of inside the lines playing.
That's one thing that's kind of unique and nice about Iowa is that we do play our baseball and softball in the summer as opposed to the spring. So college players do get that opportunity, and I've noticed a good handful of them do take advantage of that and kind of help coach back where they played their high school softball or baseball. That one put into play right back to Kowalski. Turns to second to get the lead runner, not in time, as everybody will be safe. Right idea from Kowalski, but looked like she might have hesitated just a little bit And that was the difference. Another look at that play, and you see she turned towards first, then thought to go to second. That little hesitation made the difference that time. So rule it a fielder's choice. Everybody safe. Looks like that will be the day for Kowalski. New pitcher is in there for the Beacons. Get a number on that individual here in just a moment. But Kowalski will exit, giving up 3 runs, and is also responsible for the 2 runners on base. As let's take a look at the series history between these two programs, UNI and Valparaiso. UNI leads at 19-1 all time and have won the last 13 in a row. The one Valpo win back in 2018 by a score of 2-0. New pitcher in there for Valparaiso is Cadence Augustine, a freshman out of Beaverton, Michigan. Prepped at Beaverton High School. On the year, Augustine, 14 appearances, is 0-1, ERA at 16.38 in 16 2/3 innings pitched. 39 earned runs allowed. 9 strikeouts and 9 walks. So the Beacons do go to the bullpen here in the 3rd inning, trailing 3-0 and a couple of runners on base. They will give the ball to their freshman. See if she can have some success against this UNI lineup.
Tough spot for a freshman to come into, but it'll be great experience for her down the road.
Certainly will. So Augustine is ready to go. She'll be matched up against Brooke Snyder. 3rd baseman drew a walk in her first at-bat back in the 1st. 0 for 0 on the day officially. Here in her 2nd plate appearance, watches the first one. That's in there for a called strike. So Kowalski goes just to 2 innings today, gives up 6 hits, 3 runs as of now. As I mentioned, is responsible for the 2 individuals on base. Snyder fouls that one off. Well out of play. No balls and 2 strikes, so Augustine works ahead in her first at-bat as the new pitcher.
You know, at this point in the season, David, if you're Valparaiso, it's not that you're giving up games or anything, but you're really working towards the offseason and down the road.
That one's hit a very long way. It was coming right at me there for a second. Ended up hitting the replay tent. Set up here at the Robinson Dresser Sports Complex. Just a long foul ball on that one. Still no balls and 2 strikes for Brooke Snyder. Got Taylor Hogan at first base, Addison McElrath at 2nd. Neither are there via a hit. McElrath was hit by a pitch as that one's fouled off. And Hogan reached via a fielder's choice. That resulted in nobody being out. Panthers 3 runs on 6 hits, no errors so far in this game. Snyder trying to get a big 7th hit here, but is down 0-2. Watches that one. Some good movement on that pitch, but just missed. So ball and 2 strikes now the count.
That was a good spot. Good pitch for an 0-2. Pitch from Augustine.
A ball and 2 strikes here. Nobody out. Bottom of the 3rd. Panthers up 3-0. That one misses as well. Now 2-2. As Snyder's done a good job to work back and draw even in the count. Do see some movement in the dugout for UNI. It looks like Hannah Kelly just grabbed a bat, and she now moves to the on-deck circle. This could have a pinch hitter coming up next. Here's the pitch to Snyder. Fouls that one off, and that will also get out of play. Really good fight here from Snyder. Fell behind early. He's done a good job of fouling off some pitches. 2-2 count. Here's the pitch. That one looked at. It misses. Count has been worked full. Really nice at bat here from Snyder.
Yes, excellent at bat for Snyder, and that's what you expect and hope for out of your senior. She certainly has the experience and has done a great job at this at bat and throughout the season.
Sends that one a long way, and she will be paid off well. A monster home run. Nearly reached the baseball field here at Robinson Dresser. A 3-run blast. Absolutely hammered. Brooke Snyder falls behind 0-2, fouls off pitches. She got a hold of that one. Certainly liked what she saw. Long drive out to right. The Panthers double their lead. It's 6-0 UNI.
That was such a quality at bat from Snyder. Great leadership from a senior.
And when you put together an at bat like that, you really hope it doesn't just end up as a strikeout or something of that nature. And no worries for Snyder. That was hit a long, long ways. The Panthers lead 6-0. Second home run of the inning for UNI. Maya Dodge led off the inning with a solo shot. 4 Panthers have come to the plate, and 4 Panthers have scored.
I think both of those home runs were well over 250 feet. They were both hit extremely well.
Well, as I mentioned, does look like we have a pinch hitter here for UNI. I believe that is Hannah Kelly up at the plate. Watches the first pitch. That one just misses for a ball. Kelly, a redshirt senior out of Davenport, Iowa, prepped at Davenport Assumption. What a softball program they have over there. Program that does a good job in many sports, softball among them. That one is low. 2 balls, no strikes for Kelly. Still nobody out here in the third. 4 already across for UNI. Three balls and no strikes for Kelly.
Kelly played on some fantastic teams at Assumption at the state tournament.
Ball 4 misses low. 4-pitch walk for Kelly. Seems like those Assumption softball teams are almost always making their way over to Fort Dodge for the state tournament. Kelly was a part of some really good ones. Got a pinch runner here for UNI. Greta Hart's into the game, junior out of Reynolds, Iowa. Transfer from Indian Hills Community College. Outstanding JUCO softball program.
And they're having a great year down at Indian Hills this year, too.
So Hart's at first base. And Darren Lamprecht stepping up to the plate. Still nobody out. What's already been a long inning. 4 already across for UNI here in the third. Lamprecht, the catcher for the Panthers. First pitch misses. Lamprecht led off the second inning with a well-hit ball that was recorded as an out off a great play from Alexis Johnson. Big swing and comes up empty there from Lamprecht. Lamprecht 8 homers on the year, hitting 200, 16 RBIs. Lamprecht, a junior out of Silver Lake, Kansas. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Throw over to first base, but Hartz is back in time, was not fielded cleanly either. Hartz getting a nice big lead over there at first base. Got her in there as a pinch runner. When you're in that situation, certainly know you're in there for a reason, and just trying to see if she can have any little advantage there, getting a good lead off. Pitch fouled off by Lamprecht, hits it a very long way. She get a swing like that, go in the right direction, she might have a third home run of the inning.
She did hit that well, and she takes a great cut at the ball. Not going to get cheated on her swings.
No. Interesting note about her, I mentioned 8 home runs, just 16 RBIs. Hits that one very well, but it's just foul. Very well struck ball by Lamprecht again. Just flying down the third base line in the air, but when it came down, it was on the wrong side of the foul line. 2 balls and 2 strikes. When Lamprecht gets a hold of one, it's more often than not going to be a home run. That's the thing about her when she's at the plate.
And that's why she's in the lineup, besides her great defensive skills at first base.
Here's the 2-2. Hartz is running. Good throw over by Vasquez, but Hartz is in there. Looked like nobody was quite covering in time. And Hartz, with the stolen base, advances up to second.
A little bit of a miscue on the defensive side for Valpo. Not that Hartz would not have been safe anyway, but not sure anybody was really covering second base.
So count is now full for Darren Lamprecht. Here's the 3-2. That one's hit on the ground. That'll get through for a base hit. Hart's being waved around. It's misplayed out there in center field. The run was going to score anyways, but now Lamprecht's rounding second, and she will be in at third base standing up. So it's a single with a 2-base error added on, and it is an RBI for Darren Lamprecht. RBI single there from Lamprecht, and now she stands at third base. 5th run of the inning for UNI, and this has just been a nightmare inning for Valparaiso so far.
Tough outing for the freshman pitcher, Augustine.
Certainly is a difficult situation to be thrown into as a freshman, facing one of the better teams offensively in the country, not to mention in the Missouri Valley Conference. Looks like we are going to have a new player or new pitcher coming in. Just having some adjustments defensively here. Looks like Augustine is done. And while they are switching out the pitcher, let's take a look at season recap for the Valparaiso Beacons. Had a nice stretch for Hirschbach, the great shortstop, where she reached base for 10 straight games. 4 shutout wins within the last 3 weeks. Then they host Indiana State next week. This is the final road trip of the year for Valparaiso. Now here is a look at UNI. Alexis Papillo, the great freshman we've mentioned, top 25 in the NCAA with home runs on the year. Panthers set a Missouri Valley Conference record for runs scored and doubles. Maya Dodge, Panther record for RBIs in a season, and they have now won 12 straight games, looking for a 13th. As it looks like Kowalski is back in the game on in the circle. So we're having a discussion between the umpires now, as all 3 umpires are huddling up. So it looks like Kowalski will be back in the circle. And now the umpires all return to their positions. And Kylie Sanders will be batting for UNI, as lined out to center twice, both on balls that were well hit. Now, Brian, I know you have the re-entry rule in softball, but I was not aware that extended to pitchers as well.
It does.
Okay.
She had one re-entry, and so this is it. And she's in the DH spot, or in the flex spot in the lineup.
That's why we've got expert analyst Brian Irby here to fill in the gaps. That one's hit well. Again, a very hard-struck ball, but that will potentially result in an RBI, and it does. Darren Lamprecht tags up from third and scores. So Sanders once again hits one on the screws and results in an out, but at least this time she can know that she does get credited for the RBI as Lamprecht tags up from third.
That was a fantastic throw from the left fielder.
Really was. Emily Crompton out there in left field for the Beacons. Almost got Lamprecht. It was a close play. So a sacrifice fly there from Sanders, and Papillo steps back up. Single and a double so far for the freshman catcher. Scored a run back in the first inning. It's 8-0 Panthers here with one out in the bottom of the third. Already the 8th batter of the inning. Like I said, just the one out, already 6 across. Here's the 0-1. Papillo waits on that one, and it's in there for a called strike. 0-2 as Papillo falls behind. Alexis Papillo, a freshman out of Crystal Lake, Illinois, prepped at Crystal Lake South High School. Had her choice of college programs, was a big-time recruit for sure, but chose the Panthers. And certainly Panther fans are happy that she did. Here's the 0-2, that misses quite a bit high. One ball and 2 strikes. Kowalski back in the circle for the Beacons. Getting set for the 1-2. That one misses. 2-2 is now the count.
You also have to wonder at this point, I haven't seen Heyer go back out to the bullpen to loosen up a little bit. Caitlin Packard has been out there. You don't know if they're going to make a pitching change or not.
That one put in play. Funny hop over at first base. And Papillo, assuming that's ruled a hit, in there with the 3rd base hit of the day in just 3 innings. We've gone on and on about her home run power, but she's just a solid hitter up there at the plate. Get the base hits like we just saw there. And 3 hits on the day for Alexis Papillo.
And as a freshman, the job she's done behind the plate, catching, but then hitting with the 2 strikes, that was just a great piece of hitting. She didn't have to hit it hard over the fence or in the gap. She just got it on the ground, made good contact. Great piece of hitting.
So 1 out. Papillo on first base as Madison Parks steps up. RBI triple and later scored in the first inning and then lined out to third in the second. 9th batter of the inning, so barring a double play, Panthers looking to bat around here in the inning. Throw over to first base is not in time. Papillo back in there safely. Madison Parks on the year, a .331 hitter. 4 homers, 21 RBIs. Parks, a junior out of Pella, Iowa. 1-1 pitch, lays down a bunt. Throw over to first base is not in time, beats it out. Parks with the bunt single. Outstanding speed down that first base line. Coaches love when you can put down a good bunt, great spot, and great hustle. Results in the base hit.
Great awareness by Parks, noting that the third baseman was playing back a little bit, probably not expecting a bunt. And then it was a tough job for the pitcher to be able to field that and make the throw.
So Maya Dodge batting for the 2nd time here in the 3rd inning, led off the inning with a long solo home run. Fouls that one off. Dodge 1 for 2 on the day with that solo homer. Also grounds out the shortstop back in the 1st inning. UNI leading 8-10 here. Or excuse me, 8-0. I was looking at the hits. They have 8 runs on 10 hits. Pitch in there for a called strike. Here's another look at that monster home run from Maya Dodge. And Brian, you mentioned that was very well struck, probably over 250 feet out there to center.
It certainly cleared the center field fence by a long way.
That's a very high pitch. Everybody will move up a base. Papillo rounds third and stays put. Kowalski just didn't get that one how she wanted it. Results in a wild pitch. Now 2 in scoring position for Dodge. And when Maya Dodge is at the plate, you certainly don't want anybody to be in scoring position, as she already has 62 driven in this year. Looks at the 0-2, that just misses. Good discipline there from Dodge with 2 strikes. Now the count at 1-2.
I think it should be 2-2.
And you are correct. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count. Here is the 2-2. That's in the dirt. Now the count is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes for Maya Dodge. Again, batting for the second time here in the third inning.
Tough spot for Kowalski. She doesn't want to walk her, but she also doesn't want to throw the ball over the plate too much.
Not a whole lot of good options right now. That one's hit a very long way right out here. Looked like it was going to take us out there for a second, Brian. I was getting ready to duck for cover.
I had you covered.
Just a long foul ball out towards right field. Didn't quite clear the fence.
I had to protect Eric yesterday, and I would do the same for you today, Dave.
I appreciate it. So the count is still at 3-2. Here comes the pitch from Kowalski. That one hit high in the air. It'll also get out of play. Really good battle here from Dodge. And after her outstanding freshman season last year and her great play this year, Missouri Valley Conference pitchers know you're not going to get off easy with Dodge. She is going to battle. Here's the 3-2 once again. Hit hard on the ground, over to short. Throw to first is in time, but it will score a run. So Dodge grounds out, does get the RBI. And the Panthers extend their lead. Now on top, 9-0. As that brings in Papillo over from third base. So Addison McElrath digs in. As Dodge gets her second RBI of the inning and the game, adds on to her Panther record 63 now on the season. First pitch to McElrath just misses.
And really that last at bat for Dodge, she battled and battled and battled and decided to, she had to swing at a pitch that was close to the strike zone and got the job done. I mean, that's exactly what you would expect and what you would want from your cleanup hitter. Get the RBI. And like I said a few different times, it doesn't need to be the line drive into the gap or a home run over the fence. It can be just a ground ball out. And you know, in certain situations, that could be the game winner.
So 7 across here in the third inning for the Panthers. They lead 9-0. McElrath holds back on that one. Third plate appearance of the game for McElrath. She singled in the first, was hit by a pitch in the third, and later scored. So already has scored 1 run here in the inning. Fouls that one off. Back out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Are now 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Two pitch is looked at, and the count is now full. Madison Parks does stand over at third base. Three-2 pitch upcoming from Kowalski. Here's the 3-2. That is low in the dirt, ball 4. And McElrath reaches for the second time this inning on the walk. Now runners on the corners for Taylor Hogan. Hogan stepping up to the plate for the second time this inning. First time she reached on a fielder's choice. Later scored. That fielder's choice is certainly haunting the Beacons more and more as we go throughout this inning, because could have had the out at first, or could have had the out at second if Kowalski would have went right away. Instead, hesitated, didn't get either out. And now 7 have come across in the inning.
That pretty much opened up the floodgates. Just a quick mistake, and not necessarily, I mean, the right thing to do would be to turn the throw to second. Not sure if she saw maybe the shortstop or second baseman not covering, and then hesitated and went to first base.
Hogan hits that one high in the air. It's going to stay in the field of play. Johnson with an outstanding catch, falling to the field and makes the grab. That will finally end the inning. Great play by Johnson, but UNI puts 7 across here in the bottom of the third. They lead 9-0 after 3. You're watching the Valley on ESPN.
Part of investing in the campus, university, and the Unidome, and part of our Art Tomorrow campaign is knowing that there will be future generations of Iowans and Panther student athletes and fans that will be able to come here and have the type of wonderful experience that I've experienced as a fan, as an athlete, as a parent, and it's investing in that future.
Give today at ourtomorrow.uni.edu.
This tiny payment thing is a giant pain.
Hi, ladies.
Alex from US Bank. Can she help?
How about a comprehensive point-of-sale system?
That can track inventory, manage schedules, and customize orders?
That's what US Bank Business Essentials is for.
What about a new oven? Can US Bank help us there?
We can serve loans in as fast as 12 minutes.
That would be a big help. Huge.
Jumbo.
Ginormous.
Finding ways to make your business boom. That's what US Bank is for. We'll get there together.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise, and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
UNI puts 7 across in the bottom of the third. They lead 9-0 here as we begin the top half of inning number 4. David Warrington and Brian Irby with you on this Saturday afternoon. Well struck ball. First base hit of the game for the Beacons right away on the first pitch. That is Reggie Hecker, the outstanding center fielder. Made some great plays out there today. She has the first hit of the game for Valparaiso. Leading off the top of the fourth. Heyer was just starting to get far enough into where he could think about flirting with a no-hitter, but that will go out the window here in the top of the fourth.
Well, and when we were off the air, we were talking about how it's been a while since Heyer's been out in the field. And you don't, I mean, I didn't see her out in the bullpen staying loose or anything like that, and that's certainly something that would be instructed to her or messaged to her by her pitching coaches or head coach Ryan Jacobs. But you never know. If you're in the dugout for 40 minutes waiting, it's tough to go back out on the field. First pitch is a single.
Could almost feel like you need to go re-warm up when you get to waiting for such a long time. But certainly not going to complain about your offense giving you 7 runs, so you'll take in, you'll give, I guess.
Absolutely.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. 7 strikeouts on the day as Kimberly Rodas goes down swinging. After giving up the base hit, Heyer goes right back to what she's been doing today. Records the strikeout. Emily Crompton now batting for Valparaiso. Watches that first pitch. It misses low. Crompton went down on strikes in the top of the second. Big swing at that one. Swing and a miss for strike 1.
I often wonder sometimes, as a pitcher, you know that deep down inside, you know that you're throwing a no-hitter. You know that you're pitching a perfect game. Now as she looks to me like she's got a little more zip on the ball. You know, you got that first hit out of the way, and Now she can just relax and reach back and do what she does best.
1 ball and 2 strikes.
Sometimes the dugout gets quiet because they don't want to say anything and cause a jinx or something to go wrong.
When you've got that kind of a game going, even if you think you're not going to change how you're pitching, certainly there's something going on in your head like, okay, I've got a no-hitter going, like you said, maybe perfect game. Even if you don't think it's going to change how you pitch, it'll at least make you think about it.
That's right.
That one is going to be in there for a called strike. Crompton goes down looking. 8 strikeouts today for Samantha Heyer, as Alexis Johnson will step up for the Beacons. Johnson, 5th batter in the order for the Beacons. As here's a look at the balls and strike breakdown. And a whole lot more strikes today than balls for Heyer. Just 1 walk given up. Swing and a miss on the first pitch from Johnson. She was the first Beacon to put it in play in the 2nd inning. First 4 batters of the game went down on strikes. Johnson grounded out to second base over there to Taylor Hogan.
And Johnson has made some great plays at second base this weekend.
She really has. Just ended that previous inning with a great play where she had to lay out to make the play. Does a fine job out in the field and showed on her ground out. Great speed down the first baseline as well. Nearly beat out what should have been a routine ground ball to second. Swings through that one. Ball and 2 strikes now. Here's the 1-2. Throw down to first base, or second base, excuse me, is not in time as Hecker was running on that play. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's another look. Pillow looked to frame the pitch, trying to draw that 3rd strike. Didn't quite get the throw down in time. Just a little bit of hesitation on that one. So for the first time today, the Beacons have a runner in scoring position. Ground ball over to Snyder at 3rd. Strong throw to first, and that will do it here in the top of the 4th. Leadoff single ends up being the only hit of the inning for the Beacons as UNI leads 9-0 heading to the bottom of the 4th. You're watching the Valley on ESPN. New pitcher into the game for Valparaiso. Kaya Fenter's going to take the ball into the circle. Fenter's a sophomore out of Speedway, Indiana. Prepped at Speedway High School. Fenter's on the season, ERA around 11.41 in particular. 15 in the 3rd innings pitched, has given up 34 runs, 25 earned, 5 strikeouts, and 21 walks. Fenters will face the bottom of the order for UNI. 7, 8, 9. Brooke Snyder, Sammy Moss, and Darren Lamprecht. Snyder had a big-time 3-run home run in her last at-bat. Pops that one high in the air, and it's going to be a foul ball. Looked like play could have been made there by Acord, but it falls as we'll flash you back to that big-time home run from Brooke Snyder. Great at-bat, fell behind 0-2, fouled off some pitches, stayed alive, worked it full, and then just found what she liked and hammered it out to right. That was the play that also really started to break the game open. As she looks at that pitch, misses for a ball.
It's an interesting high school name for Fenters. I wonder, do they have a racetrack around the school, do you think?
I hope so. I hope they're good at track. Snyder sends that one a long way. Great play out there in center. Just ranging back there. Hecker makes the catch. One of those plays that looks somewhat routine. Didn't have to put too much into it, but it's tough ranging back, fighting the sun, and finding the ball. Makes the play. Snyder hits it hard, but lines out to center for the first out of the side. So Sammy Moss re-enters. Last time up, Hannah Kelly was the pinch hitter, but Moss back into the game and will take the at-bat. First pitch misses high. Moss did bat in the 1st inning. popped out to the catcher to end the bottom of the first. Speaking of Fenters, I certainly hope Speedway High School has a good track program.
I would hope so too.
That one's hit well. Sammy Moss with a base hit into right field. Moss really has been playing some good softball as of late. Had a good game against Drake on Tuesday. It's a base hit here. Stands aboard at first.
Great time of the year to start getting hot at the plate.
Absolutely right. No doubt about it. Postseason coming up very shortly. As Darren Lamprecht steps up. Mentioned their schedule a little bit earlier on, but Panthers will go to Iowa City next week for a midweek non-conference game. Evansville comes to town this weekend, and that'll do it for the regular season. Postseason starts after that. The Missouri Valley Conference Tournament, and the Panthers certainly hope that the NCAA tournament awaits them after that. That pitch in the dirt for a ball. Darren Lamprecht at the plate, lined out to second in the second inning, and then in the third. Had an RBI single and then later scored.
The conference tournament champion is an automatic berth, am I correct?
You are correct, yep.
Okay.
Panthers came just short of that automatic berth last season, falling to Missouri State in the MVC championship. Was not technically a road game, but was at Missouri State in what is considered a neutral site game. That one misses high for a ball. Sammy Moss, heads up play there. Nobody paying attention to the situation other than Sammy Moss. The upperclassman sees what's happening and takes advantage. Now stands at second base.
Excellent awareness for Sammy Moss.
See there on the replay, she was keeping an eye on what was happening and then had the opportunity and just took off. Lamprecht hits one out to right in foul ground. Catch is made. Good ranging play as Moss will tag up and advance. But nice play out there by Lexi Sostak. Had to move quite some ways to her left and made the catch before running into the fence. So Lamprecht goes down on the fly out into foul territory. Back to the top of the order we go as Kylie Sanders will dig in. Fourth at bat of the game for Sanders. Has a couple of lineouts to center and a sac fly to left.
But it's hit the ball extremely hard.
That's absolutely right. All three of those lineouts have been really well hit balls that hit anywhere else probably would have fallen and resulted in at least a single, if not extra bases.
Help me out a little bit, David, on the scoring. Was Lamprecht's, is that a sacrifice fly with the Moss moving to third?
I believe it would be, but I'm not sure. So it'd only be on the RBIs, so
okay.
Would officially be no on that.
All right.
And of course, now no opportunity for a sac fly here with 2 outs. Sanders trying to get the RBI to score Moss from third. It looks like that hitter, she will make her way down to first base. And that brings up Alexis Papillo. So Sanders reaches for the first time today. Was hit by the pitch. And Papillo makes her way up to the plate. So 2 down, 2 on here in the bottom half of inning number 4. So far today, Papillo 3 base hits. She's 3 for 3. Thrown in a double in there and has scored a couple of runs.
Just going to say this is a dangerous hitter for the young pitcher Fenters.
And a .418 average on the year. First pitch, Sanders takes off, and that one was in the dirt. So no chance there. Looks like Sanders was running either way on that pitch, but after it was in the dirt, there was no play back there for Vasquez. A ball and no strikes, now with 2 in scoring position for Papillo. That one misses high. 15 home runs on the season for Papillo, 46 RBIs. trying to extend this Panther lead. They're already at that 8-run cushion for the run rule if they can hold the Beacons scoreless, or at least to 1 run in the top of the 5th, but they'd certainly like more if they can get it.
Come on, Kai. Come on, Kai. Let's go, babe. Let's go. Yeah, Kai. Yeah, Kai.
Here's the 3-0. And Papillo was walked on 4 pitches with the base open. Had to assume Fenters wasn't going to take too many chances. And Papillo reaches on the walk. Madison Parks comes up for UNI. The center fielder has a couple of hits today, including an RBI triple. 2 for 3 on the day with a lineout. First pitch is in there for a called strike. 2 outs and bases are loaded. Pillow at first, Sanders at second, Moss at third, with Madison Parks at the plate.
You know, and for Fenters and Valpo, it just doesn't get any easier. You go from Sanders to Papillo to Parks to Dodge to McElrath to Hogan. What a tough lineup.
Fenters works ahead here. No balls, 2 strikes on Parks. Trying to get out of the inning. That one misses above her head and a duck out of the way. Now a ball and 2 strikes. Here's the 1-2. That one's hit into the air, back towards right center, and the play will be made. That will retire the side. Hecker has gotten plenty of work out there in center field. Has done a fine job. The Panthers do lead 9-0 after 4. You're watching the Valley on ESPN.
Oh, that's the new DQ Backyard Bacon Ranch Signature Stack Burger with house-made Hidden Valley Ranch. You're taking this backyard thing really seriously. Oh, I get it. It's a tasty-looking burger. DQ, happy tastes good.
Let's go find them all. With the right moves, we'll take this win. Surprise. The road you chose has ended here. Tell Death I said hello.
Beacons down to their last 3 outs, need 2 runs to keep the game going and avoid the 8-run mercy rule here in the top of the 5th. David Warrington and Brian Irby here with you this afternoon as Kalen Packard, new pitcher, into the game for UNI. First batter she will face is the designated player, Lauren Kellenbrink. Also have another defensive sub as Kate Lappy's into the game at third base for UNI. The outstanding freshman could be a big-time player in the years to come for UNI out of Bondurant. Ball and a strike here in this at-bat. Kellenbrink lined out to the pitcher. Samantha Heyer at that time back in the second. Fouls that one off.
Nice outing today for Samantha Heyer. Through 4 innings, excuse me, 8 strikeouts, 1 walk, gave up 1 hit. That would give her, at my count, I'm not a great mathematician, but it would be 25 strikeouts in 2 days.
Good play there by Sammy Moss to step up and make the catch out there towards the infield dirt. Kellenbrink goes down on the fly out. What a weekend for Samantha Heyer, but it's just starting to become the expectation the way she's been playing this season. Gets so many strikeouts and does not walk hardly anybody. First pitch in there for a called strike. Autumn Acord up to bat. The first baseman went down looking in the top of the 3rd as the Beacons are down to 2 outs. Acord looks at that one and misses for a ball.
Caitlin Packard had a great second game yesterday. Pitched very, very well against Valpo in that 3-0 game.
That one's fouled off. And having two pitchers that can both pitch so well and have so much experience is very unique for UNI. Most programs have a true ace and then they try to fill in the gaps other places, but UNI has two starting pitchers who could both leave and go to a different program and be that program's ace if they wanted to go that direction. But having them both in Cedar Falls is an unbelievable advantage, especially with the postseason coming up.
And they give each other their different looks.
Yep, absolutely.
Packard works very quickly, always gets the ball back in her hands, gets right back on the pitching rubber and ready to go to work. Hires, not that she's slow at all, but she's not quite as quick as Packard. Different pitching styles, a little bit different pitches. Packard throws some off-speed stuff and down in the strike zone.
That one put in play. Hogan is there, fields, throws over to first. It is just in time. What a play. Taylor Hogan ranging over. Beats Acord running down the first base line. 2 outs, and the Beacons are down to their final out. Here's another look at that previous play. Certainly a close play at first base.
Nice job by Hogan.
Was a great defensive play. So Lexi Sostak steps up, popped out to third base her first time up, swings through the first pitch she sees. 4 strike 1. Sostak, the right fielder, made a really nice play in the previous half inning. Here's the 0-1, swing and a miss, strike 2. Beacons down to their final out of the afternoon, trying to close this one out. The Panthers are in 5. Leading 9-0. Just the 1 hit allowed by Hire earlier in the game. Here's the 0-2. Fouled off. Beacons stay alive. No balls, 2 strikes to count. Kaylin Packard tries to conclude her 1 inning of work. That one is fouled off, however. Panthers 9 runs and 11 hits, no errors. Beacons no runs on 1 hit, 1 error this afternoon. Packard with the 0-2 once again. That one's sent, fairly well hit out to left center. And the play is made, however, by Madison Parks. Good communication, calls off Maya Dodge, and that'll do it. UNI has won 13 in a row. They sweep the series 9-0, the final here in this game. They won 7-2 and 3-0 yesterday for the 3-game series sweep. 4 games left, and Bryant Panthers seem to be rolling on all cylinders heading down the stretch of the season.
Yes, they really are. They're playing great softball, getting great pitching right now, timely hitting. It's just the best part of the year for them to start excelling and overachieving. So they're doing a great job.
My partner, Brian Irby, our producer, Chris Davis, director, AC Glassford, and all of our great crew, I'm David Warrington, saying so long from the Robinson Dresser Sports Complex, where UNI wins it 9-0 to sweep the 3-game weekend series. To watch this game on replay, as well as any game on our family of ESPN networks, log on to ESPN.com or download the ESPN app. Thanks, everybody, for watching. This has been a presentation of ESPN.